July 13th, 1973. Alexander Butterfield reveals existence of the Nixon tapes to Congress for the first time, clarifying he means the audio tapes, not the collection of humiliation porn under Nixon's desk.
Welcome to The Revisionist. I'm Brian Flynn.
I'm Zach Powers.
And so excited to have our guest on today. First timer, but he is hilarious. And welcome, Zeke Herrera.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Zeke, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Zach, how are you? Sorry, it is still very hot, and I'm not...
I'm good. It's about 100 degrees here in Chicago.
Oh, that sucks ass, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm not in the 100-degree area. I've been running my AC all day, so... Hey, environment, fuck a duck, because I'm cool. At your expense.
That's the new slogan for air conditioning. Fuck a duck, because I'm cool.
Yeah.
When air conditioning fired their marketing team.
I mean, you gotta do something, though, you know?
That's true.
No.
I could die, I guess.
I mean, you could run like 10 fans at the same time, but I'm not sure that's a lot better.
Yeah.
If I were truly committed to the environment, it'd be like, I could die. That would be the best.
Yeah, anytime I read an obituary, it's like, man, that person was really dedicated to the cause.
Yeah.
There's really nothing better for the environment than human death.
That's true. The only downside is my fat-ass cat has to die, too, and, like...
And that's a stipulation you're putting on that.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill your cat. You can give your cat away.
That's true.
No, Luna has to die, too. Or feed off your corpse, which is probably way more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, that'd be a double dose of good nature vibes. If there's reincarnation, I'm coming back as, I don't know, something not as shitty as a bug?
A tree, I think.
If I come back as a human, it's just like, well, what did I kill myself for?
You could come back as a better human, though, you know?
Yeah, or like a poorer human who doesn't exert as much waste.
I mean, if I could come back as like a taller human, certainly I would view that as a step up.
Or if I came back as a baller human.
Fuck off.
Or just like as a human that doesn't live around anywhere with technology that has access to AC, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all about the future, though. We're not here to talk about the grim future. We're here to talk about the grim past.
That's, if you're new to the show, listeners, what we do, each episode we take a topic from history. One person presents the actual government-sanctioned version of events, and another person comes up with a crazy, bonkers, bananas alternate history. And the winner becomes the truth going forward.
What does that mean, the winner?
The winner of, like, the combined audience vote and, like, the judgment of whoever is not writing a story this episode, basically.
It's a democratic system, nominally.
And
what I'm asking is, what is the audience looking for?
Okay, I see.
To be entertained, as all audiences are.
Okay, which one is more entertaining, the truth or not the truth?
Yeah, I think that's...
It's a combination of things, I feel like.
Which one is more entertaining? Which one it feels less upsetting to vote for?
Yeah, like, sometimes it's a moral question of, like, for instance, last week we talked about Harriet Tubman, and sometimes it's like, well, I could vote about this very silly story of Harriet Tubman doing crazy shit, but also morally it feels wrong to be like, fuck normal Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, give me fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Harriet Tubman.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Tubmans is fun.
I'm just picturing Harriet Tubman wearing 4 different colored masks.
Yeah, she's on a date and she has to pretend to be all 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Tubmans.
Because her date has a very weird fetish.
Well, she's on 4 dates. She's on 4 dates and she's running to the bathroom like...
So she has 4 different...
I normally like pizza, but this pizza is making me have to pee.
Wow, didn't even think that through. Doesn't even know pizza makes you poop.
Yeah. Well, I thought it would be less grotesque to talk about Harriet Tubman peeing.
Would it? No. Is it that much worse?
I mean, she did both. I'm going to say this canonically in both versions of history. Harriet Tubman, she pooped, she peed.
We could really lead off most of our actual histories with that.
It might help, like,
People-
to
Harriet Tubman
demythologize.
pooped and peed?
Yeah,
Well,
demythologize
everyone-
some of
Just
these
make it
people.
the slogan of the show. The Revisionist Podcast. Harriet Tubman pooped and peed.
Everybody poops, including Harriet Tubman.
That's a good, like, for nowadays, like, there are these bookstores near where I live that are, like, very much, like, and I support them, but, like, books for kids that are, like, strong women in history, but they never take the angle of, like, you know who else pooped? Harriet Tubman.
It's weird that no one has ever taken that the authors of Everyone Poops hasn't.
Yeah, it's weird nobody points out a thing everybody knows all the time.
No one speaks
that
about
everybody poops and pees.
Yeah, they say everybody, but, like, they don't mention everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't come up in every biography. I don't get it.
Now,
From Hitler to Tubman, it's a universal condition.
Now I'm just picturing, like, instead of distributing phone books, people getting, like, the same thing, but instead of listing people's phone numbers, it just says poops and peas.
I'm actually
next to their
considering
name.
now, like, a bathroom etiquette book where it's, like, Harriet Tubman and Adolf Hitler, and Adolf Hitler has terrible bathroom etiquette, and Harriet Tubman has great bathroom etiquette.
Yeah, that's like it's Goofus and Gallant at that point, really.
Exactly.
And it doesn't get more Goofus than Hitler.
Yeah, he goofed.
Oh, I'm editing all of that out.
Don't worry, we'll sprinkle it in throughout the episode.
So you can't edit it out.
Also, speaking of the Harriet Tubman story, of course, the actual history one, listener vote, blew the alternate out of the water, as it should have.
Possibly the most inspirational figure we've ever talked about on this show.
Hands down, yeah.
Yeah.
And my sort of not fully half-assed Christmas Carol parody that went along with it, yeah.
It was like an American Carol, that
Oh,
sucker film
that
where Michael Moore
super
gets
right-wing version of A Christmas Carol.
But, like, the main character didn't get changed. She was like, this is bullshit.
Oh, god damn it. Well, we're moving on to the next chapter in history that we'll be covering, which is Hollywood crimes and scandals.
Yeah,
and
we gotta get on that
mysteries.
Katrina Longworth true crime money machine for this podcast.
Yes, indeed. So, hopefully, next week we'll start rolling in the dough, and the Casper fucking mattress sponsorships will come through.
Hey, baby! How about some murders involving rich white people? That's what podcasters love to hear. Podcasting audience, you know you want it.
This week, we're discussing the Lindbergh baby, which, Zeke, you're doing the actual history, right?
Yeah.
And Zach, you're doing the alternate.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so Zeke, whenever
Oh,
you're
we
ready.
both picked alternate. Oh, fuck.
Oh, well, I guess the Lindbergh baby is fucked.
Yeah, he is anyway. I'm gonna...
Spoiler.
Minor spoiler.
All right, well, yeah, the Lindbergh, do you want me to just go into it? Or do you
Yeah,
want to get
whenever
this
you're ready.
Casper mattress commercial out? Or
Yeah, well, no, let's talk about Casper mattresses.
Casper mattress. Do you want a bed but hate carrying a whole mattress? Get a mattress enclosed in a tiny box. Casper mattress.
One night, Charles Augustus Lindbergh was sleeping on his Casper mattress, happy as could be, when the unthinkable happened, unrelated to the mattress.
Totally. That's also Casper's new slogan. The Lindbergh baby tragedy was fucking not related to our mattress.
The
Yeah,
only aspect of the tragedy it contributed to was that everyone slept too soundly.
Great.
All right, get started.
Though
Should I get
actually
started?
several people were awake when the child was
Yeah,
abducted.
almost everybody was awake. All right.
Hey there, this is Brian reminding you that The Revisionist is supported by listeners just like you. You can make a pledge and get rewards like shirts and even the right to vote over at patreon.com/therevisionists.
Just keep in mind when you're voting, audience, that this is about a dead baby. And if you vote against a dead baby, like, who's really in the wrong here, you know?
I think that's
But
most
think about this,
pro-life
audience.
candidates' messages.
If the baby survived, he might be dead by now. Some
point.
people born in 1932 are dead now.
But this
that's-
baby died as a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that. All right, so...
Some people born in 1932 are also alive right now. So, Rita Moreno, for example.
Off the top of your head, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
looked up people born in 1932.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, off the top of your head and a person I've never heard of. Interesting.
She's in West Side Story. She's a EGOT winner.
One day
Okay.
at a time, coming back to TV.
Doesn't mean I've heard of her. All right, March 1st, 1932, Charles Lindbergh Jr., son of Charles Lindbergh and Anne Morrow Lindbergh, was discovered not in his bed anymore at around 10 o'clock. The nurse put him to bed at 7:30. 9:30, Charles Lindbergh Sr. hears some rustling. Just kind of ignores it. You know, he has a butler, he's got a nurse, he's got a wife. He just assumes they're,
It's the 30s. Everything rustles all the time.
yeah.
You gotta pay. You pay people to deal with rustling when you're that
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
He's not worried about it. Then 10 o'clock, the nurse goes to check on the baby again and discovers that Charles Lindbergh Jr. is missing. I didn't really plan on like hamming this up. I just thought I was telling the story, just so you know.
No, that's totally
Okay.
fine.
Feel free to ham if you feel ham come upon you.
Okay,
No, we're the ham
absolutely.
handlers here.
If you feel that spirited John Hamm floating over your head.
The nurse is Betty Gow. Then they find a note. The note just has like terrible grammar. It's basically illegible.
Sorry, I'm just like that's the first thing instead of like we took your baby. It's just like, oh, this note is not well.
I mean,
It is
I already
very
said the
badly
baby's missing. I think we get it. You know,
It's rife with spelling errors. It's a
Yeah.
bad note.
if you look at the picture of it, you cannot read it. It's impossible. You can recognize that there's numbers, but you cannot know what it's saying.
It's almost like a baby wrote it.
Yeah, the baby staged some kidnapping and then murdered itself.
My dad might be a Nazi.
The letter, yeah, basically illegible, just asking for money. And there's 3 dots: a red circle, a blue circle, and a punched hole. And the kidnapper's like, "This is this is how you know it's me, and not somebody else asking for money." You know?
Oh, that's like their code. Okay.
Yeah. So they go around. They find the note. They go around the house, and they find like a couple footprints and like a very unique ladder. It's
like a homemade ladder.
It's a homemade ladder that
It is homemade, yeah.
like slides up and down. I deleted the whole thing. Hold on, let me get to it. All right. So they go around looking for people or the baby or whatever with a gun. Him and the butler, Ollie Waitley. Then they call the cops, call their attorney. Cops show up, and they can't find any like fingerprints or anything. They can't make out any footprints. While they're doing the investigation still on the house, news is made public that the baby's missing. A bunch of people show up to this house and just kind of trash any evidence that there might be.
Because this was like the 30s when a crime scene was just like a free-for-all.
Yeah, there was a crime party, basically.
Yeah, who wants to come see a crime?
It's basically like being inside of a TJ Maxx. Everything.
You know how we don't have TV yet? You want to?
Yeah.
You want some outside TV?
You were waiting for something exciting to happen so your life wasn't boring for 5 minutes.
Yeah, people show up, they trash the thing. The police go over the notes. They think the person that wrote the note is possibly German, according to... they like decipher the handwriting and all the grammatical mistakes and decides
The spelling mistakes, probably.
Yeah.
The sauerkraut stains on the note. That's probably racist.
The lederhosen left at the scene of the crime.
There we go. Yeah.
They think that it could possibly be connected to the mob. A bunch of mob members offer up help, including Al Capone, who...
Really?
Al Capone offered help because he was in jail, and he was like, I'll help you find this baby if you reduce my jail time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was like, I'll be the Hannibal Lecter before Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, basically. And then they said no. They're like, no, we got this. But they didn't have it because that baby showed up dead. The FBI offers $25,000 as a reward. The Lindbergh family offers up $50,000. This is during the Great Depression, so that would be roughly $1.4 million in today's money. Then a second note shows up. It's postmarked from Brooklyn. It basically just says, we're kind of pissed you brought in the police. We're going to need more money than we asked for before. Mm-hmm. Because now we have to lay low with this baby for a while because you brought the police in. Third note shows up to set up a meeting. The third note says that there's a personality from the Bronx. I don't really know what that means at this time. I guess he's just like a public speaker.
It's like a retired school teacher.
Yeah, retired school teacher. He offered up $1,000 to help for information on the kidnapper. His name is John Condon. He takes an ad out in the newspaper saying the instructions say that they want him to take an ad out in the newspaper if he agrees to the terms and is willing to be the third party between the kidnappers and the Lindberghs. So he does that. And
with the nickname Jafsy or something?
Yeah, JFC. I was confused about that. I thought that might be...
No, that was John Condon's nickname in the intermediary process, I guess.
Yeah. And then they offer up the suit that the baby was sleeping in as evidence that it's still alive.
I mean, not great evidence. You could take a suit off a dead baby, for sure. Or just buy a different
Or
one.
take the suit off and then kill the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, what else could he do, though? I'm sure they don't want the finger chopped off, I'm sure they're like, yeah, listen, the sleeping suit's fine. Just leave his toes on or whatever.
Leave his toes on.
Yeah.
Ain't got iPhones back then.
Yeah. Send him a charcoal drawing of the baby.
All right, then a fourth note shows up, leading them to the fifth note. There's 13 notes in total. A lot of them aren't completely... You don't really need to know about them. So fourth note is just like, hey, here's where the fifth note is. And then... then they go find a fifth note. It's a little Easter egg hunt.
So the sixth note is just a Casper mattress ad.
Yeah. It's basically more instructions. They meet in a cemetery, and the kidnapper is just all in shadow. So John Condon can't make out what he looks like. Really, he can't describe him. The kidnapper says, "Your baby's being taken care of by two innocent women. They don't know he's been kidnapped." Later, they finally bring him the money. They make a special box for the money in hopes of identifying the box.
They don't mark the money, but they note all the serial numbers.
Right.
Which are non-sequential, I imagine. But
and they have gold certificates in the money.
Yeah.
The gold certificates are about to be brought out of circulation.
Okay.
So they're giving him the money in hopes of, he's going to have to exchange these, and they're hoping to catch him then. Then later, May 12th, the body's found by a truck driver. The cause of death is trauma to the skull. The officials suspect an inside job. They think it's one of Condon's friends or family is in on it. And they start interrogating a lady named Violet Sharp because during the first round of interviews, she gave some contradictory information and was just acting nervous, which I feel is reasonable.
Yeah.
Just being interrogated about anything, I would act nervous.
Even by, not the police? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially by the police. who are 1932
By like a barista.
New York cops, you know?
Yeah.
Is your name really Neo? Because I think that might be
I mean, having worked as a barista for
Tyler
many
Durden.
years...
Is that your real name?
No, here's the thing. Having worked as a barista for many years, if someone tells you your name is Neo, you don't try to make more conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's one you just let go. True facts. And not a joke.
Somebody's got to stand up to these people who say their name is Neo.
And that
or Tony Montana.
That person, Hugo Weaving, as Agent Smith.
Never dying. Mr. Anderson is his preferred nomenclature.
Yep, it's fucking L. Ronder shit.
Alright, so then that lady kills herself.
Oh, shit. Man, of all the times for the goof abouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if it still does, but some nail polish has cyanide in it. Police brought her in, and after, right before her 4th session of questioning, she downed some cyanide-filled nail polish, so that never goes anywhere. She just dies.
Later, her alibi, like, she had slightly contradictory evidence initially, but her alibi was later verified, so she was just an innocent person.
Well, shit.
Yeah, it sucks. They find some of the money, like he said, they kept track of some of the numbers. They found some of the money like scattered throughout the United States, but they couldn't really track it. And then, like I said, the gold certificates need to be exchanged by a certain time. A man came in by the name, he gave the name J.J. Faulkner and a fake address to exchange the gold certificates. They go check out the address. That's fake address. Nothing really comes of that. And then later, a man named Richard Hampton Hauptmann.
Hauptmann? I think it's Hauptmann.
Was arrested for using the money with the same
serial numbers.
Serial numbers, right? At a gas station. The guy working the gas station thought he was like a counterfeiter because he was acting real suspicious. Then they found out it was from the ransom, and then they found $14,000 in ransom money at his house, in his garage.
And a couple of the gold certificates, I think, too.
Right. Howman said money was left there by a man named Isidore Fish. Fish had died recently in 1934, like a couple months before they got to the money. After returning to Germany, he left Hampton the $14,000 was Hauptmann's story, which he only found out about after Fish had died.
That's like the I have a Canadian girlfriend of crime.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. But here's my theory is I think Hauptmann just had Isidore just write the letters.
Oh,
so
I don't think Isidore is involved at all. Because, like, Isidore, before he left...
he actually did exist.
He did exist.
Yeah,
he was a real guy. But he was apparently having trouble making his $3.50 a week rent before he went back to Germany. He couldn't pay for his medical bills, and the reason he died was he had tuberculosis. Meanwhile, Richard Hauptmann had been out of work for years and never taken up another job and continued to live comfortably.
Right.
So by all accounts, Fish was like extremely poor and never saw any of this money. And Hauptmann was doing fine the whole time.
Right. I don't think Isidore was involved intentionally. I think Richard used him as... he didn't want the notes tied to himself, you know?
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just tricked him somehow into writing these letters.
Because this is also... Sorry.
It was full of, like, grammatical errors.
This is also, like, a point in time when, like,
they were both German immigrants, so
yeah,
it's tough to say.
Yeah.
But this is, like, a point in time when people know about, like, handwriting comparison and, like, fingerprints, even though those are, like, still relatively new and underdeveloped techniques.
Yeah, true.
But, like, enough lay people know that, like, someone could reasonably be like, yeah, I don't want my handwriting matched to this.
Police found more evidence, including sketches of the ladder, and John Condon's phone number and address. 8 handwriting experts show similarities in their handwriting, but there are some other experts that are denied. They're not allowed to testify in court. The attorney the attorney is appointed to John Hauptman because it's called the trial of the century. So the New York Times buys his attorney in order to get rights to the story of the case. Part of the wood from the ladder was identified. His wife was brought in to corroborate his story. Did I say the ladder thing already? That ladder was identified from a piece of his attic.
Yeah, the wood is the same. And there's holes where screws go from that match missing pieces of wood from Hauptmann's attic.
He had checked out a book on amateur ladder building.
And then, like you said, he hadn't had a job in quite some time. Convicted of the crime. He's in prison for about 2 years before he's executed. Yeah, he never
maintains his innocence the entire time.
Also,
they said they could commute his sentence to a lesser sentence, but he still refused to admit guilt.
The FBI enacts the Federal Kidnapping Act, which basically allows police to go across state lines for a kidnapping, and it makes it a felony to bring somebody across state lines against their will. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and Charles Lindbergh Sr. himself, I can't remember if this was before or if he got really into eugenics before the kidnapping of his son, or if it all happened after. But that's Lindbergh's famous for having pro-Nazi, Nazi apologist tendencies, and that definitely happened probably mostly after, because this was a year or two before Hitler came into power. But he might have been into eugenics already, I don't know. I'm going to edit that little part out. Zeke, thank you.
The part where you were for eugenics? You said out loud.
No.
I'm pro-eugenics.
I wasn't going to edit that part out. I was going to edit the part where I was like, I had something to follow that, and I clearly forgot it.
I mean,
Yeah. Brian he was going to put the part where he said, I'm pro-eugenics at the top of the episode.
Not true. Not pro-eugenics, guys.
I honestly thought it was weird that you said that, but then I was like, he's probably going to edit that part out.
I mean, I also said it as soon as I opened the door, which was weird. It's my fucking opener for every set.
Yeah, Brian, you don't know this, listeners, but Brian's license plate is eugenics now, but abbreviated.
If I believed at all in eugenics, I would not exist as a person.
That doesn't make any sense.
I have so many subpar qualities.
Your main proof is yourself.
That make me not an optimal human. Which does not exist. Again, anti-eugenics people. If you are a listener and you are pro-eugenics...
You just winked at me. Said anti-eugenics people and then winked at me. Knowingly.
Oh, God damn it. See, thank you.
I'm just trying to do my best as a guest.
Coming to you from the X-Axis, it's John of All Trades with your host, John X.
Welcome to this John of All Trades podcast promo. Each Wednesday, I bring you a brand new interview with someone fascinating and ask the question we all ask when we meet someone new. Hey, what do you do? It's fun, informative, and it's the 2017 Westward Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Denver Podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, and johnofalltrades.us.
We're in an interesting position we've been in once or twice before, where we're talking, and we probably will be again in this section, because this segment is kind of mystery related, but this is a story that already has a lot of alternate histories about who did it. Like, did Charles Lindbergh kill the baby himself and make an elaborate cover-up? Was it the mob? Was it blah, 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 blah? There's a lot of theories about what happened with the Lindbergh baby case. Now, I don't believe any of them came to the genuine truth of the matter. In spite of the fact that Richard Hauptmann did it, and probably did it by himself or with maybe one or two unwitting accomplices, is clearly the most compelling argument. None of them came to the real truth of the argument. So, let's look at the evidence. The ladder. Much ado is made of the fact that this was a very uniquely and freshly constructed ladder designed for this exact purpose. What they don't say, the ladder was rigged to connect to the top of the windowsill and was the exact height from the windowsill to the ground. Now that's interesting. That's weird. How would they know that? How would the kidnappers know that? Continuing on. The note. Full of spelling errors, full of grammatical errors, poor handwriting, somebody who doesn't have a full grasp of exactly the English language, etc., writing skills, all of that. Continuing on. The prints. There were no fingerprints in the room. Not even the fingerprints of the people who were supposed to be there, like Charles Lindbergh or the babysitter. None were found, except the fingerprints of the baby himself. Continuing on. Charles Lindbergh was a fascist. Now, obviously, a lot of people have problems with people who are fascists. I would say for good reason.
Babies.
Yeah.
Babies hate fascists. Every baby.
Well, some babies.
I would hope every baby.
Depends on the baby. Charles Lindbergh was also an extremely rich person in a time of extreme wealth inequality. Both of these will rile a lot of people the wrong way. The trucker was a simple trucker in the Great Depression, probably a very poor man. Probably had some resentment towards somebody like Charles Lindbergh, a scion of wealth in a time of great income inequality. Look at leftist Twitter. You know there's a lot of hatred for the richies right now. Hauptmann and Isidor Fisch were German immigrants fleeing from an increasingly fascist society they were scared of. And finally, Condon, retired school teacher. His closest contacts? Children. Children would be the people who knew Condon the best.
Putting this up on a board with red string.
What I'm saying, of course, is the most logical suspect, as you have already guessed, is the Lindbergh baby himself. What I am saying, and what I am proposing, and what is true, is that in the original Earth timeline, the Lindbergh baby was never kidnapped. He grew up into an adult and became an aviator in his own right, much like his father. But after becoming increasingly disenchanted with his father as he accumulated wealth and became a pro-Hitler apologist, the Lindbergh baby, now the Lindbergh man, crashed.
Earth 616.
I like the Lindbergh man.
Charles
He's
Lindbergh
going to be
Jr.
time traveling.
Much
Let's
like-
give him something catchy to roll
Yeah,
with.
no, okay.
The Lindbergh man. The Lindbergh man in the original Earth timeline, where he grew up, crashed on an island, much like his actual friend Amelia Earhart, one of the people he actually looked up to. And on this island, found a deadly artifact.
Jesus.
Written of in story only, the monkey's paw.
Just quick question.
Wanting
Did
to
Amelia
undo the
Earhart
sins of World War
also
II,
crash
which of
in
course...
this timeline? Or is she still alive?
Yeah, we already covered hers, so I don't want to change the mythology we've already established.
Yeah,
for
she's
Amelia.
got her own thing.
Which
There's
I
like
think
a
is she's
Brigadoon
still
thing
alive and
happening.
she's doing some other shit. I think yeah. Go listen to the Amelia Earhart episode where she lands in Brigadoon for a
You
while
will
and
it.
then becomes Nancy Pelosi or something. I don't remember.
Bullshit.
It's been a while. She becomes somebody of a woman of very much of political power, I believe. But probably not Nancy Pelosi, but somebody else. So go listen to that episode. Meanwhile, the Lindbergh man has found a monkey's paw. Now, he makes 3 wishes on this monkey's paw, and the first, of course, is to undo the horrors that his father accepted, that he saw in World War II. He wants to rid the world of Hitler. Now, the monkey's paw twist on this is you have to kill Hitler when Hitler is but a babe. So he goes back in time with the monkey's paw, forcefully transported back in time, and does the ill deed and kills baby Hitler. But he's stuck in whenever Hitler was born,
1890s
something?
maybe? I don't know.
Whenever
but then
baby Hitler was
wouldn't we
around?
not know who Hitler is?
Yeah, 1880s.
Oh, he was ready for you.
But
That's why I asked.
the other twist of the monkey's paw is there are always fragmented timelines. The timeline that Lindbergh existed in is the timeline he was destined to be in. Every choice in time travel creates split timelines. So Lindbergh has to go back to his own timeline or else live in 1880s Germany as a penniless nothing. So he makes this wish on the monkey paw. I wish to go back to my own timeline. But he goes back to the first day of his life with his adult brain. And becomes the Lindbergh baby, but with the mind of the Lindbergh man. And Hitler has not been killed in this timeline. Hitler is still rising to power. He's transported back to his same timeline. So he concocts his own abduction. And as his final wish to the monkey's paw, knowing he would have to be a baby abducted and living in a harsh world by himself, he wishes to become an opponent to the excesses of capitalism that his own father perpetrated. So, he plans this heist. He gets Hauptmann, an enemy of fascism, and this truck driver, an enemy of excess capitalism, to help him. For the baby corpse, he brings Hitler's baby corpse and plants it in the forest. A diversion. Yes, so the baby corpse they found was in fact baby Hitler's corpse brought from the alternate timeline. And so he escapes, dons a faked mustache, and for a while is with Hauptmann as a very small businessman by the name of Chet October Lindy. His middle name was Augustus, but he took the name October after the October Revolution because now he is an enemy of capitalism. And so he emigrates to Russia. His third wish comes true, but he takes over the Soviet Union at its weakest point and becomes Mikhail Gorbachev. Now, in order to ensure that during his abduction, if he were found alive, he would not be indicted, he had Hauptmann smack him once on the head just so he could say that there was some struggle. And of course that left a distinctive mark on his head. Hence, he is Mikhail Gorbachev with his distinctive head mark. Becomes a drunk knowing he's in charge of a flailing, inefficient nation that is doomed to fall in the scrap heap of history.
God fucking damn it.
Also born in 1932, by the way. That is the true story of what happened to the Lindbergh baby. He staged his own kidnapping after killing Hitler in an alternate timeline and became Mikhail Gorbachev. This is the true story of the Lindbergh baby.
Let's say you are, Charles Hauptmann? Richard Hauptmann, sorry. So he's just like chilling at home, and then a baby comes knocking at the door.
Yes, this is one of my questions.
And he's like, hey, can I borrow some of your attic wood to make a ladder? He thought I had to measure.
No. Let me explain this. What if I give this? Yes, okay. So, Hauptmann knows the fear of fascism, right? He's a resident of Weimar, Germany, and he sees the Nazi Party as a threat. And this is a true enemy of the Nazi Party. He presents him with baby Hitler's corpse.
Carrying a dead baby.
Yes, this was my other
question. A baby with full command of the English language.
It's Hitler's corpse and not just a baby carrying another dead baby.
Yeah, like, babies look alike.
Listen, man, if you saw a baby who could, like, fucking talk like an adult...
Fucking boss baby, man.
And then you'd be like, obviously this is Hitler's baby body from an alternate timeline.
He had a monkey's fucking paw?
Because there's a talking baby. What, am I going to not believe it?
And his final selling point was he made his third wish to become an enemy of the excesses of capitalism in front of Hauptmann, proving the truth of the monkey's paw.
If a talking baby shows up at my door, I'm probably going to believe it, which will get me into all sorts of scrapes.
He's got a baby's corpse. Brian, you're home. A baby shows up. He's got a corpse and a monkey's paw. He says, this corpse is Donald Trump. And this is my
Lindbergh
monkey's paw.
To Charles Hopman in the first place.
Yeah, how does he...
He knows that he's an exile of the Weimar Republic, Germany, the rise of fascism. He does his research. He has a phone book and an adult's mind.
Okay. Okay. I honestly admire how well prepared you were for this grilling.
And honestly, the idea that this is the most outrageous alternate history you've ever presented offends me.
I'm just vibe. Filling some time.
I like it. It's like, Rugrats meet...
This is some Agatha
Doctor
Christie
Who
shit right here.
Meets
Murdering. Inglourious Bastards a little bit.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like Back to the Future meets Boss Baby meets Inglourious Bastards, pretty much.
I'm trying to picture... This is basically if Quentin Tarantino directed Boss Baby. Zach, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And there was, obviously a forking timeline element, a Terminator factor.
Judgment listeners, just want to remind you can always contact us via revisionistpodcast.com or any social media page, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We're also a proud member of the Denver Podcast Network. Check out all those awesome shows, including Left Hand, Right Brain, which I was on the most recent episode of. So, Zeke, you're a great stand-up. You have shows all around at any time, like...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I just want to say one more thing.
For it, sure.
A lot of my...
Just as soon as I start getting compliments, something came up.
A lot of my
didn't
story...
get any compliments. All right, what's your thing though?
I should have said it earlier. A lot of my story requires a baby to be in a suit and a fake mustache talking like an adult.
Adorable.
So,
Go
ahead, Zeke. I apologize.
He's one of my favorites, and anytime you get a chance to see him, you should take that chance, listeners. Sorry, Zach. I should have asked you beforehand. Did you have anything you wanted to plug? Okay.
I am full-time in this coding school. I got no time for nothing.
As for me, I'll be... it's coming out on the 13th, so the 17th, the Wednesday after this comes out, I will be at the Sloan's Lake Alamo Draft House in Denver for Last Night on Earth, hosted by...
It's a great show.
Just to see Toy Story 2.
Thank you.
Or 4.
Well, he's from an alternate
timeline.
He came back to watch Toy Story 2 this weekend.
That's true. It's confusing. In my timeline, they're only on 2.
Sorry. But yeah, that's a great show. Hosted by friend of the show, Zach Moss. Check that out. And my comedy TED Talk show, Know Your Shit. The next installment of that will be the week after this comes out, the 20th at Tandem Bar here in Denver. So check that out.
Fun.
Yeah, we got a great lineup. We have friends of the show, Kate Strobel, Steve Vanderploeg, Gabby Reed, and Jose McCall. And one more person who is a surprise guest.
It's me.
Surprise.
I don't know who it is.
And it'll be whoever it is.
I thought
they'll have
it's Baby
Of course,
Lindbergh.
they insist is Baby Hitler's.
This is a full-grown woman. Baby Hitler's corpse. I don't know what to tell you.
This is just like an elk. I don't know what you're. That's great. Now I want to meet like a hunter who taxidermies their hunt and puts it up on their wall and tells everyone it's actually Baby Hitler, but it's just like a jackalope or whatever. Or like a big mouth Billy Bass. God damn it. Okay. So Judgment falls to me this episode, And this is a very difficult one because I think both of you did a very good job.
Listen, you don't gotta lie to me.
Oh, thank God. No, I do think both of you did a very good job. Zeke, very well researched, covered all the angles, including I knew about the woman who drank the nail polish and killed herself. Did not know she had been cleared, and that was kind of like her fourth interrogation being put through the ringer.
Yeah,
So-
they like beat her because it's like
Oh, no. Oh.
1930s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Hauptmann too, but apparently there was a scandal about
Yeah, I
the
mean, if
police
you make somebody
intensity of
kill
the investigation
themselves
after her
when you're
death.
innocent,
People were outraged.
I would be outraged too.
Yeah.
You know?
Rightly so. And Zach,
Yeah.
I think that was both in presentation and material. Well done.
You know what cut the wind from my sails? When you guys guessed my alternate history really early in the episode.
I kind of had forgotten about that until I realized, like, partway through where you were going with.
Yeah, but I was in for a penny and for a pound
I
at that
think
point.
Because it introduces an alternate universe and a super genius baby who's also Mikhail Gorbachev, which I forgot about until just now, who is still alive also. Wait, really?
I think
No,
Gorbachev is
Gorbachev
dead.
is still alive.
Yeltsin is still alive. Gorbachev. Really? Well,
Yeah,
then,
next
there you
episode's
are. He's
guest,
still alive.
Mikhail
You can ask him
Gorbachev.
about it yourself.
Mikhail Gorbachev, famously combative.
No, he
in
is. You're right.
interviews
He's still
also.
alive.
I'll cast my vote for the alternate history. But listeners, voting is now open on Patreon, and check the Instagram next week for the final poll. But Zeke, thank you.
Yeah,
for
no
being
problem.
Zach, thank you as always.
Don't remember as many Casper mattress plugs than his, but that's fine.
Of course.
It's true. Zeke did make us money. Flat out. Now to hear from our sponsor. Oh, Juan Mattresses. Oh, shit. Oh, god damn it. Oh,
Yeah.
we really fucked this one up.
Thanks for having me, though.
Yeah, thank you for being here. For everyone here at The Revisionists, I'm Brian Flynn. Have a good time. Ooh.
I'm
Solid
Zach Powers.
Lip smack right before I said that. Oof.
Line.
I'm
Have a good time.
my
Line,
vote.
I think is what you mean.
I've said so much worse.
This is my string one, so I have three things that I'm going to say. It might be too long, so go ahead and figure that out. July 13th, 1774. William I of Scotland, rebel in the revolt of 1773 to 1774, is captured by Henry II of England. Quote William, "Fucking outrageous, fucking dumb cunts, fucking get on my git." 1249, coronation of Alexander III as King of the Scots. Quote Alex, "Fucking good is fucking great, I'm a king, you dumb gits, you cunts." July 13th, 1830, the Scottish Church College founded in Calcutta, India. Quote, founder Alexander Duff, "It's fucking good learning about Jesus, you fucking gits, you cunts."
Jesus Christ.